Alright guys, welcome back. Let's talk about something that all R34 owners go through, and probably R33 as well. Headlight restoration, whether it's worth doing it professionally or doing it DIY. I've always done it myself, albeit not to a very good standard, but I've been one of those people that kind of just does it to basically make them look a bit better, but then look eventually within a couple of months or whatever it is, they end up coming back just as bad, if not worse. So this is my old R34 here. These are before photos of me polishing it. I think I spent about $40 on the kit to polish it all up. This is after. Obviously look much better, but still within I think a month or so they were back to being that yellowy haze and basically not looking very pretty, which means I had to constantly keep doing this. There wasn't that much obviously research and stuff back then, but this is when I got the Skyline. My current Skyline, obviously the lights were pretty bad. When I first got it, I did my normal approach, and that was polishing them up myself. Here we are masking the car off, and my dog Vasily there. Obviously we are just waiting to polish them up. So I did polish them up and they came out okay. There's a picture of it there. Came out okay, and I thought to myself, you know what, I don't have any of these kits left. So I started looking online and I thought, well, what do they cost? $79, $50. I think the cheapest one I saw was like $39. I'm sure there's heaps of other home remedies as well that people use, like Mighty Car Mods use toothpaste or something like that. All good, but I really didn't want to keep doing this. I kind of just wanted to do it once, have it over and done with, and basically never have to worry about it again. So I reached out to a guy who I've heard great things about, who's done lots of work. His name's Baz, and he runs Adelaide Headlight Polish and Restoration. So I'm going to run you through a video of him and how he does things. I'll talk over it because basically the whole video we're just talking crap. Okay, so I'll run through the whole video and I'll speak over it. There'll be some music obviously, but this is just to give you guys a bit of an idea of sometimes doing the DIY thing isn't necessarily what's best for your car. Sometimes paying someone, albeit $100 or $98, whatever it was, and never having to worry about the headlights again is worth that peace of mind. I mean, $79 for a upmarket kit versus $90, $98, well, look, it's not hard to figure out. And for you R34 guys, I don't know how much time you all have, but I cannot be bothered every couple of months polishing up my headlights. I'd rather get them done once, sealed up properly, and then left there. Okay guys, so this is before we started obviously polishing the headlights and restoring it. So basically, as I said, I'm just going to cut the audio of obviously what we were discussing and things like that, because there are a few trade secrets that he doesn't want to get out. So the first thing he does is wash the headlights down to make sure that obviously there's no loose bits of debris there, sand, anything that can obviously scratch the lenses. He goes through this, he does this about 3 or 4 times. He also does do an alcohol wipe as well, so to make sure that there's absolutely nothing left on there. So we're going to get into the masking of the headlights now. Now Baz was telling me the headlights weren't that bad. They were still bad, but they weren't that bad. He's obviously seen worse, but we're moving into the masking now. Now he doesn't always mask up the cars depending on the headlight and the body shape and things like that. Depending on how bad they are will depend on obviously whether he masks the car or not. So he doesn't always mask, but sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So we're about to start the restoration process now. Baz is going to start sanding down all the failing top coat that was applied from the factory years ago. Basically, he uses very fine grits of sandpaper. I don't remember what they are. There's heaps of information out online if you need, but he starts sanding back all the failing clear coat that was originally on the headlights from when they left the factory. Now, obviously these haven't been done professionally before, they've just been done by myself. So obviously Baz is telling me that he's going to make sure he gets rid of all the failing clear coat before we can start obviously restoring the headlights. So he goes through and does sanding. Now, Baz is quite it's quite an interesting character. He actually counts the amount of strokes he does in his head, because he's got kind of a formula that he's worked out, which is really neat, because obviously you want someone as pedantic as that looking after your car. You don't want someone who's just going to be slapdashing it. So he also makes sure that you'll see him touch the lens from time to time. That's to make sure the headlight is not getting too hot, because obviously if it gets too hot, you've got a chance of burning the plastic, and he doesn't want that. So he keeps everything lubricated, and he always checks the temperature of the light to make sure it's not getting too hot and there's not going to be any chance of the plastic burning. But yeah, really interesting how it's all done. And look, to be honest with you, I probably would not have done this. I would have just put some polish on a drill bit type deal and kind of just polished them up myself. But yeah, it's kind of really interesting watching, I guess, a professional do this, because obviously you don't, when you polish them up just using, I guess, home stuff, whether it be car polish or whatever you guys use, you're just really polishing up whatever's there. You're not actually restoring them. So by him going through this process here, it's actually getting rid of all the clear coat that was applied on the factory years ago, and basically making it so it's I guess a clean slate for him to apply his products and polishes and stuff to obviously restore the headlight. Now, here you'll see that he's just wiped them down with a microfiber cloth. Now, each of his cloths have a one use. Once he's used it once, he doesn't reuse it again. But he's just telling me now that he can see a bit of shine in that bottom left-hand corner there. So he's going to go over that again now, because he needs the headlight to be completely cloudy before he can start, obviously, the polishing and obviously making sure the lights come up good. But yeah, really interesting to watch him do his job. Now, although my headlights weren't that bad according to Baz, he obviously still has to run through the whole restoration process of obviously sanding everything back, making sure that he's got the best possible surface so that he can have the best possible outcome for the lights. And like I said, it's great because he's using, it's not a short time frame. Like he was doing each light for quite a while, and obviously he's using different grades of sandpaper, counting the strokes, making sure he's getting rid of all the waste plastic, clear coat that was on them before, and really making sure that obviously he's going to have the best possible surface to polish up on. It's actually amazing how much effort goes into obviously restoring headlights. Now we're going to come to a point of the video where I'm going to turn the headlights on, and you're going to see obviously the difference between one that's been polished and one that hasn't been. And it wasn't even the first step. Obviously it had gone through the first polish, but it wasn't even obviously the final product yet. So basically Baz was telling me what he basically does is he sands down to make sure obviously he gets all the fade and clear coat off, but then along with that he keeps sanding until the plastic comes out in like a milky kind of fashion. Originally when you sand them down to begin with, it comes off a bit yellow and gross looking, which is all the bad plastic and bad clear coat that he's sanding off. So pretty much he keeps sanding until the plastic, until the lens is, the stuff coming out off the water is like a milky white stuff, which means he's gotten down to the base plastic, the good plastic. Now these are obviously a polycarbonate lens. You're not going to get any issues with that in like glass lenses or anything like that. But Baz he's worked on pretty much every Japanese import car out there, from Stages through to Supras, anything you can think of, the guy's done work on. So he basically runs through until he gets to a clear surface, which then he can then start applying his polish. So as you can see there, all the sanding is now done. Baz is basically about to start applying his solution. He uses a special type of pad, which he wouldn't tell me what it was. I don't blame him for that. He's got his secrets and things like that. And basically this is the first coat of polish. Basically he uses 2 to 3 compounds in order to restore the headlights. This will be the first pass that he does with it, and look, just by looking at it right now, you can see that it's instantly getting better and better. It's amazing how well this stuff works. Again, I can't stress enough. By this stage, once I'd finished this first pass and gotten them as shiny as this, I would have probably put the tools down and been like, yeah, that's cool for now. That'll do the job. But I'm sure, like most of you all, we've come to the stage now where we're like, I'm sick of doing it. And as I said to you, it's kind of a case of where I don't want to be doing this forever. I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again. I want to get someone else to do it, to fix it properly and to get it done. There's a million and one things that we can do on cars, just doing DIYs and things like that. But to be honest with you, like for example, painting. I'm no good at painting, so I wouldn't attempt it because I like my car and I want it to come out well. If I had, I guess, an old car that I could practice on, different story, but I don't. So again, this is Baz polishing up at the moment. I'm pretty pumped for you guys to see the end result. If I'm honest, maybe this video has gone for too long, maybe not, but I just wanted to show you guys how much effort actually goes into restoring your headlights. It's not a 6-minute job. It's not something that takes five minutes and then you're done and that's it for the rest of your car's life. It's something that takes, I guess, calculation, effort, and eye for detail. As you can see there, they look basically brand new there. I think we're going to come to a part soon where I turn on the lights and I'm going to show you the difference between obviously the light texture coming through one side of the headlight and coming through to the other. So Baz is now using his second product of the buff, in which he uses a different solution. And like I said, he's got it down to a science now where obviously he knows what works best for products. This is not his first Skyline he's had to do. He's had to do 33s, V35s, V36s, 350Zs, you name it, within the Japanese car background, Supras, things like that. He's done them all because they all perish over time. I don't know why, but unlike back in the day with like the R31 Skylines, they came out with like a glass headlights, I guess, which they did. They came out with glass headlights, and obviously they're never going to fade, and they're never going to get yellowed out. But part of the reason why our headlights go yellow is because they're meant to have xenon globes, and they don't. So we've got your standard H1 and H4 halogens, and it ruins the plastic. So, like I said, it's never going to be 100% factory perfect like it rolled out of the factory, but you'll see, look how shiny it is. Like it basically looks new. And it's something I'm never going to have to worry about again. Alright guys, so I've turned the lights on here, and as you can see, I'm not sure why it looks green there, but xenon, but you can see here, look how fogged that one up is. Like, look how fogged it is compared to the other side. It's actually ridiculous how well they came out. Now this isn't even the final step. He's still got to put a crystal coat over it, which is like a clear coat for a car basically. But it's like a crystal coat, and it basically seals everything in and it protects it for the next duration of its life, so to speak. So we're not going to go through the other side, guys. I don't believe you guys need to see it, but Baz was nice enough to polish up my rear third brake light, and just to tell you, it came out like ridiculous. It looked like a red lolly, if that makes sense. Now again, he hasn't even finished the final step here, which is obviously putting the crystal coat on obviously the headlights, but you can see there the deep red shine that comes from obviously the third brake light. It literally looks like it's a brand new factory part. And it's actually crazy as to how much this stuff can do. Like it looks so good. I can't stress to you guys how good it actually looks. And the compound and stuff that he uses is just, you can tell a lot of money has been spent on his products. But as I said, look, the thing looks brand new. So he's putting on a crystal coat now, and basically this stuff here, the rags that he uses has a one use only, but it goes on kind of like a lacquer type deal, and when you put it on, it feels like it's got some drag to it, so to speak. And he was trying to explain it to me, I didn't really understand, so he got me to do the other side of the headlight as to obviously what it felt like with the drag. But then once it's cured, which takes about 2 hours, it's super smooth. But it felt like there was so much drag to it. So it was so weird having like this substance, like coming from these super smooth headlights, putting on this crystal substance, and it felt like it was literally so much drag. So he seals the headlights up, and basically from there, 2 hours into it, it's not allowed to get wet or have, like, I guess, don't go driving through rainstorms and stuff like that. So it takes 2 hours to cure, which is fine. Unlike paint, anything that flies into there is not going to get stuck, so that's great. But it just made the headlights pop, man. They looked so clear, they looked like brand new. With the lights on driving that night, I was like, I could see so much more. And it's so weird how it just made it come out. Like, they just look so good. I don't know how else to explain it, but they made them look so good. And basically, he doesn't reuse microfiber cloths or anything like that. Once it's had one use, that's it. So again, I can't thank Baz enough. I paid for his services, so this is not a sponsored ad, so to speak. I just wanted to show you guys exactly what goes into actually preparing a car to get your headlights done and things like that, and obviously how much effort actually goes into it, and obviously how much detail and eye for detail it takes. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you gained some insight as to obviously doing DIYs versus paying things. As I said, doing DIY things is fun, but not when you have to keep doing it over and over again. Pay once, get it done properly, get it sorted. You're not going to have hassles from the cops chasing you down because your headlights are too fogged up. It was easier for me. As I said, I paid for Baz's services, so this is not sponsored, but I loved the way he did it, and he was mobile and he was very friendly, and it just made sense to get him to do it. I will link his Facebook page down in the comment section, or in the video description section, sorry. And yeah, for those of you who are looking at getting it done, basically give him a yell and send him a picture, and I'm sure you'll be happy with his results like I was. Again, thank you for everyone that watched the video, and I'll catch you the next time.